Hello and welcome to my latest video. Now, amazingly, it's only Monday and I'm already ready for my next video. So obviously it should have been at the weekend, so it's a bit late, but compared to how late some of my other videos have been, it's hardly late at all. So obviously it's still slightly late, but cut me some slack because I did spend the whole weekend watching Big Brother so I could catch up on these videos. So hopefully after this one, they will actually be up to date. Hopefully, if I manage it. I'll try to manage it. Now, before I start talking about Big Brother, I'm going to talk about the Human Rights Act because there have been some things recently in the news about some people trying to abolish the Human Rights Act, particularly a thing about Theresa May claiming that someone was allowed to stay in the country because they owned a cat, which is quite an obviously untrue accusation. But I am a huge supporter of the Human Rights Act, and I think that everyone should support it really for these reasons, because I think that the main argument to get rid of it is because people say that it protects criminals and helps criminals to escape justice, and that might be true a very small amount of the time, but it also helps a lot of innocent people avoid being treated unfairly, which I think is the most important thing. So I think that it might help one criminal escape justice for every 10 people that it stops being treated unfairly, and I think that's worthwhile because I think at the end of the day it's better if someone doesn't get what's coming to them than if someone's treated really, really unfairly. So that's basically my justification for keeping the Human Rights Act, and I think everyone should think about that. That's my morals anyway. And I feel like I ought to say a bit more, but I don't really have that much more to say. So if anyone would like to leave a comment on that or anything, I'm willing to debate the issue. But anyway, now on to week 5 of Big Brother. And I've got some surprises on the list this week. And in 9th place, no surprises here, in 9th place I have Anton. Now, last week I said that I kind of hoped that Arden would go this week because there's not really that much point for him being in the house anymore. And I was right, and he was evicted, but I would have loved to see Anton go. Because I just can't stand him. The guy is just a total nightmare. He's just a horrible person. And he's really controlling, and he thinks he's God's gift to the public. And I suppose, to be fair, he does make the house fairly entertaining, but I think people's idea of entertainment doesn't necessarily have to come from conflict all the time. I like it when everyone's kind of enjoying themselves and everyone kind of gets on. And I think I really want Anton to go next week. Although he did say that he needs to change his values after he heard all the boos that he was getting. So you never know, by next week he might have gone up a bit in my estimation of him, but I don't know. In 8th place is Jay. I used to like Jay, but he's annoyed me a bit recently. In fact, quite a lot. I'm not quite sure why. I think it's because he moans all the time. And fair enough, he has had a bit of a justification for moaning because of the food crisis and everything, but everyone has that problem with the food, and not everyone is moaning and complaining that much. And I think Jay's making a bit of a fuss over nothing, and he just goes on too much. And he's annoying me. I mean, I still like him, but now we're down to having not that many people left. I have to rate him quite low because he's probably one of the ones I've disliked the most in the last week. In 7th place is Louise. Again, I'm still not seeing very much of Louise. I think she's just not getting very much camera time, or maybe I'm just not really noticing her. And like, she seems fine, but nothing more than that. And again, as I've said a few times before, she is actually the cousin of my friend, so I feel really bad for not saying anything extra special about her. But I can't really notice anything extra special. Actually, to be fair to Louise, she did know that there was something going wrong with her relationship with Jay, and she decided to end it rather than just let it drag on, which I respect her for. So good for her for that. But apart from that, I haven't really seen that much of her. In 6th place is Aaron. Now, I was going to say lots of really, really nice things about Aaron this week because I've been watching him in the house, and I didn't like him very much at first, but he's really going up in my view. I really like this thing that he's had with Faye. I think they get on really well. They've got quite a nice rapport between them. And then he made an enormous fuss over a burp. And I was like, whoa. And he probably had other issues on his mind. And I hope that him and Faye, well, maybe their relationship won't go anywhere. Maybe they'll just be friends. But I hope they get on okay, because I quite like seeing the two of them together. In 5th place is Jem. Now, she only went in last week. And at that point, I said that I don't really like the look of her. And I kind of changed my mind, because I'm not quite sure, but she has something about her. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I think she does care about Faye. I think underneath it all, she is quite a nice person, really. So maybe next week I'll say a bit more, but I can't quite put my finger on it, but there's something about her that I do like. In 4th place, and this is going to be a massive shock to everyone, but in 4th place is Harry. I know I'm aware of the irony here, because every other week I've said lots of really horrible things about him. It's mainly because I was biased because of the whole fox hunting thing, but that's not the only thing about him. And out of the people that are left, he does seem like one of the nicest people in the house. I suppose the fox hunting's not the only thing, and I still don't like that, but I think apart from that, he actually seems like quite a nice fellow. And maybe after all this is over, something will actually happen to him that will make him think, actually, I'm not going to do any more fox hunting. It's not very likely, but that would be the icing on the cake. And I very much respect him if that happened. And as I said, I don't think that's going to happen, but it could do. In 3rd place, this is another surprise for everyone. In 3rd place is Faye. Now, this is a surprise because this is the first week that I haven't had Faye at number 1. So let me just explain. Faye hasn't done anything that's annoyed me this week. I still really like Faye. I still think she's an absolute pleasure. She's an absolute pleasure to watch, and I would still love it if she won. However, the 2 people I've got as number 1 and 2, who have been behind Faye quite a lot recently, have really, really impressed me this week, and I didn't think it would really be very fair if I didn't give them a bit of a boost up. So I still really like Faye. There are just a couple of more people that I want to rate a bit higher than her at the moment. 2nd place is Alex. I just love Alex. She is a cool girl. I think she's really nice. I like the fact that she stood up to Anton and she didn't reveal what her nominations were. I really respected her for that. I think that she's really cool, and I like this friendship that she's got with my number 1, who is Tom. I love I suppose Tom and Alex, they're kind of like a one-off. Sorry, when I say a one-off, I mean like I kind of think of them as like one person, because they both kind of have the same kind of space in my mind for the people that I love to watch. I really liked it when they were doing the Macarena and when they organised the treasure hunt, and I just think they're the fun people in the house. And by all rights, I should have given them 1 slot, but that wouldn't have really worked when I'm giving everyone else a specific place. So the only reason I'm rating Tom above Alex is because on a personal level, I think that I have more in common with Tom than I do with Alex. Because we've both got crazy dark hair, and we're both bisexual, and we're both a bit odd, and we've both got our hearts in the right place. But I think Tom's really insightful, actually. But I just love Tom and Alex. I mean, it would be quite cool if they did end up as a couple, but I kind of hope that they don't, because I quite like the kind of brother-sister thing they've got going on. And I think if I was in the house, they're the ones that I would be friends with. So I don't know what I'll do if Tom, Alex and Faye as a 3 that are up for eviction next time, because if I didn't vote to save Faye, I feel like I was betraying her, but on the other hand, I really don't want the other 2 to go, so I just hope it won't be just those 3. So anyway, I think that is all I have to say this week about Big Brother. So I'll see you next time, hopefully on a bit more punctual video. So see ya.